Are me and Virgie going to stream us playing? Nah, because it's usually so late at night, and nobody cares when we're playing video games. Plus, I don't want to stream us openly cheating, because then people will find things out about the game, and they'll snitch, and, there's always out here trying to ruin everything. Like, by the way, don't think I don't leave. My Twitter getting fucking taken down is just gay ops from people who are jealous. My YouTube getting taken down. The Bad Luck Boys getting demonetized. It's all just mass flagging. People realized a long time ago they can't do anything that hurts me. So the only thing they do is tattletale on me. It's literally, if you think about in the past couple of years, right? They've tried to throw everything at me. Nothing works. The only thing they do, and it kind of works, is they tattle. So if I tweet something that's offensive, a bunch of fucking PodAwful and Reddit people are like, let's mass flag this tweet. Let's get his shit taken down, dude. Same thing when it's like, and there's been comments from like the Redditors and shit where they're like, oh, look at Mersh reusing content on his channel. Looks like you're gonna lose your monetization again. Like, these people, that's all they can do. All they can do at the end of the day is be hall monitor gets. None of them will ever step to you. None of them will ever do anything. When they do come to an event and try to troll you in person, they fucking piss their pants and they panic and they run away. The only thing those fucking pussy know how to do is click that report button. So no, I won't be doing any sharing of our fun cheating on Dark Ops. But it's legit. Like, they have, they will mass flag everything I do. And it's the only successful thing they have. Hey, if we get him to lose his YouTube channel and get, like, the Nightwave YouTube channel, oh, man, he's going to, like, reach hundreds of less people. And he'll make a little bit less money. It's like they just add a little bit of fucking stress. But it's like, other than that, they can't do anything. They can't fucking do anything. Except tattle. And honestly, man, I don't know, man. I just don't know how I'd feel about myself if the only weapon I had against other grown-ass men was tattling. Literally, I'm going to tell the teacher what you're doing. I'm going to call the police and tell it. Like, imagine if I, like, sold drugs. Right? And imagine, like, I let it slip that I did something recently or whatever. Like, these would be on the phone. They've actually been on the phone with cops about me saying I sell drugs, even though I don't sell drugs. So it's like, they've even just tried as a shot in the dark. It's like, you know what I mean? It's the gayest. It is a gay thing for your superpower to be tattletaling. They even did it to Aaron from Steel Toe. Aaron had a video taken down because people were mass flagging it and thought it was funny, and it's like, we're doing that? Carl from Who Are These Podcasts, I was watching a clip of him, and he's like, yeah, guys, that's not, what's the end game here? Hey, we're going to get his channel taken down. Yeah, and then what's the end game after that? We're going to get another channel taken down. All right, yeah, it's a fun life. That was the Carl quote. Oh, yeah, that's a fun lifestyle. That's what you do. Also, as Carl pointed out, if Steel Toe doesn't do a show anymore, we can't make fun of Steel Toe. You get it? You get how that works? If the show's not around anymore, we can't make fun of the show. If the guy's not around anymore, we can't make fun of the guy. Why would you want the guy to get taken out? Doesn't make any fucking sense, and it never did. But there's always gonna be gay ops. And it's an unfortunate thing. But there's always going to be some try-hard shit out there. And if it wasn't, if it weren't your typical Redditors and your Cogs and your PodAwfuls and your et cetera and your Kino Casinos it would be somebody else. The era of tree has already been invented. So it doesn't matter who's being there's always going to be running to the teacher and going, he's not allowed to have that. Why are you doing that? He's not allowed to say that. I just could never. maybe I'm just built different. Maybe I'm just built different, but I couldn't imagine having a falling out with somebody and then being like, beep, bop, boop, bop, beep, bop, boop. You know, Pastor, or whatever your name is, I'm really worried about Nick. Look, I'm going to tell you something, but I need this to be in confidence. When I was at the Redditors, everyone was swinging and having sex with each other, and we were doing cocaine. Please, you gotta promise to keep this between us. You know what I mean? It's these people that just do these little slimy things knowing what they're doing, and you're like, damn, really? You're doing that, huh? Now, I will admit I did snitch one time on my ex. And I told that story when she was the bar manager at a jazz club in Ybor. And we'd started hanging out again. Like, we were actually cool. Like, we were actually fucking again and stuff. It was kind of cool. We weren't fucking. We fucked one more time. But then we were hanging out again and we were cool. And she'd had her ex-boyfriend started fucking my ex-girlfriend, and I was living with my ex-girlfriend, so that made it awkward. And me and this guy had beef, so that made it awkward. It was not a good time for me. And then this dude stole a bunch of shit from her house, and also, weirdly enough, didn't steal any of my shit. I was selling drugs. Now, maybe he couldn't find the drugs or the money, because I'd already been robbed of one of her friends one time on like $300. So I got really good at stashing my money and my drugs. And so I didn't have anything worth stealing other than that. He couldn't find any of that. So he didn't steal from me, but he robbed a bunch of her shit. And it was just horrible, you know, and she was really fucked up over it. And then this chick that was the bar manager at the club texted me and was bragging about, like, haha, this is what you get, motherfuckers. We were just fucking with you guys. And, you know, you guys deserve what you get, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bitch, I didn't even do nothing to you. Like, I really genuinely thought we were pals again. I was like, damn, it's like that, huh? But like a week prior, she reached out to me via text message and was asking me advice about how she could get her club shut down and her owner like in trouble because they were pouring cheaper booze into the more expensive booze bottles, which is one of those old bar time tricks, and that's highly illegal. If you get caught doing that, you automatically get your liquor license revoked. They thought there's no... You can appeal it. You never win appeal. Your liquor license gets revoked. And I can't remember if they destroy the license or if the state takes it back and reassigns it and sells it. But you don't get that liquor license back. You're no longer a bar. It's essentially a death sentence. And depending on how severe the infractions are, it's impossible for you to ever acquire another liquor license. So it really is a sniper shot to the fucking eyeball. Like, you're done in the business. And she was like, yeah, how do I get this guy in trouble? I'm fucking sick of this guy. I'm gonna go get a job somewhere else, but like, I want to fuck him over on the way out. How can I prove to the liquor board he's switching liquors and he's doing this and that? I want to get this fucker in trouble. So when this girl just started like making fun of me and like bragging to me that they robbed our house and like was rubbing my face in it, was like, I never liked you, you're a fucking you're a loser. Like, she just went in on me, and I'm like, well, that's not very nice. And she didn't know that I was friends with the owner of the club. So I went in to talk to him one day about a GM position. Because I was going to... Oh, no, it wasn't a GM position. I think it was just a shift manager, like assistant GM position, whatever it was. But he's like, yeah, come and talk to me. I'm like, all right. And so I go in and I meet with this guy. And oddly enough, a black guy who looked like Eric Adams. And his name was Eric. Crazy enough. So I go to meet with him one day, and I walk into the fucking club, and the club is not busy. It's not open. I went there at like, they were doing like a staff meeting and a bar clean, and I think they were doing some construction in there for that night. So like, it was, the doors were open. You could just stroll into the place, but there was no music. Nobody was serving booze. Nothing was turned on. It was just broad daylight. and they're all doing their thing, and she's there with the bar staff doing shit, and I just walked in, and she saw me and was like, turned white as a ghost, like, oh, fuck. And I'm like, so I walk in, and I know this other dude, Corey, that worked for him, is my other manager. So I walked in, I'm like, yo, Corey. And he's like, what's up, dude? And he walks over, and I see him, like, what the fuck? And Corey starts to walk over, and fucking this chick just looks over at me, and she's like, fuck are you doing here? And I was like, oh, I got a meeting with Eric. Yeah, I got to talk to him. He told me to come in. We had this meeting set up days ago, but like you could see the fucking ghost leaving her body, like, and she knew if she made a beeline up there to try to like try to interrupt me or whatever, she was just gonna look crazy. So she just stayed in that spot and stewed and did her job while I walked out. And he's like, yeah, he's in the upstairs office. I'm like, all right, because this was like a 3-story old Ybor building, so he was up in that shitty 3rd story just in the offices. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go up there, and showed that motherfucker the text messages, and I got he goes, and he was like, because I gave him a little background, and I was like, yeah, pop, and he goes, how'd you find out about this? And I'm like, me and your girl got history. Let's just say we got a little on and off history, and it's a very toxic history, and right away he's just like, oh, I get it, you know what I mean? So he's like, I get it. And I'm like, yeah. So he's like, well, fuck that bitch is fucking fired right now. I'm going to fire her ass. And he's like, I take it you want to come with me? And he let me watch. It was the funniest thing ever. Guys like, I'm gonna go fire this bitch right the fuck now. You want to stick around? You want to watch? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, hey, could I get a Jameson while we're here? And he's like, sure. So we went downstairs, and while they were fucking not even open, behind the bar, just poured a little Jameson in a shot glass. I was like sitting there with my drink. I just sat there with my little drink while she fucking got fired, and it was the greatest thing ever. Sometimes snitching rules. Snitching's a little different when it's like, I wouldn't go to the authorities. I wouldn't, you know what I mean? I wouldn't go to like YouTube and be like, hey, this guy said the N-word, let's cancel him. But it's kind of funny when it's somebody who's been so vicious to you, and you're like, oh, I got these text messages. Yo, dog, you want to see what your bar manager's been doing? Oh, he was pissed. And if I recall correctly, we went down there together, and then he poured me a drink, and I just sat there, and I didn't sit I wasn't like next to him like the Bobs from Office, but he just poured me a drink, and I was off in the corner talking to Corey, like, what up, man, watch this. And Corey was like, yo, what the fuck, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, watch this. And Corey was friends with her too, so I felt bad for Corey because he was stuck in the middle. I was like, watch this. And then he was like, you got anything you want to say to me? And right away she's like, the text messages, right? And he's like, yeah. So you wanted to get me you want to get this club shut down? You want to get my fucking liquor license pulled, right? And she's like, and he's like, you know what the fuck is up now, right? She's like, you're gonna fire me? And he's like, fucking right, I'm gonna fire you. Get your fucking ass out here. I got to watch her leave, and I was just sitting there with Corey going, And I remember Corey saying to me, man, she came to me with that same bullshit, and I was like, we got a good thing going here, we're making money, why do you want to fuck this guy over? But you know how she is. I'm like, well. And by the way, Zen, if you're gonna be fair, Kiwi Farms merch, Reddit, I would take Reddit off. Look, I hate to admit anything when it comes to these two, but I have to be fair. If I let go of my objectivity, at times it will make me become a tyrant, and I don't want to be a tyrant. If we're being fair, it really should be like Chad Zumach and Patrick Melton. I'm just saying. I'm just being fair here. I don't like Patrick Melton, and I don't like Chad Zumach. I don't respect Patrick Melton or Chad Zumach. However, much like our founding fathers, who also did not like and respect each other half the time, you gotta be fair. See, now, if I'm being fair here, That would be Kiwi Farms. I would say, I would switch it. The black guy watching in the audience would be either Reddit and Kiwi Farms. I think the three commentators need to be, if I'm being honest, it needs to be Mersh, Patrick Melton, and Chad Zumach. Because we were the three singing the highest chorus of being shitty fucking fuck Aaron. Because we are the ones commentating on it. I just feel like it would fit better. It really should be Zumach, Mersh, Melton. Jim, I'm just being fair. Sometimes I'm on the side of... Sometimes I've agreed with some pretty wild people. Sometimes I agree with Nick Fuentes. Sometimes I agree with Owen Benjamin. You know how much that fucks me up? You know how much that fucks me up? Agreeing with that fucking weirdo? But he's right sometimes. I mean, he's also absolutely still batshit crazy and has some of the worst takes ever. But he's right sometimes. I can't take away from people from being right once in a while. Just saying. And by the way, Jim, who's it not going to age well for? The Red Bar people? Oh, no. Seriously, at this point, I'd rather deal with Melton fans than have to deal with fucking Red Bar fans. Red Bar's watching! No, he's not. Red Bar doesn't watch his show, your show, anyone else's show. You people watch and send shit into him. He doesn't care about any of this. He's just gotta fill 8 hours a week. Yes, Jim, I'm siding with him. That's what that means. That means I'm co-signing everything he's ever said and done. That's what that means, you fucking dumb shit. God, Jim is very, very stupid. Now, I will admit, I did snitch one time. Sometimes snitching rules. Sometimes snitching rules. Damn, it's like that, huh?
Another place to hide it all. Another place to hide